Onana is set to make his debut against Arsenal in the friendly match today in New York. All eyes will be on him to see what he's like. Talk about fast moving. He was in Manchester just the other day having his medical, and he's already been shipped off to New York and met his teammates, and he's ready to play in the game today. Let's hope we get to see him. But I can't wait. A lot of people will be watching this game to see what Onana brings to Manchester United. Oh, it's so exciting. What a player we've got. I really am happy with this Onana signing. A lot of people have been talking about him. A lot of analysts and critics have been analysing the way he plays. And everyone is in consensus that he is one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers with his feet, and the way he can pass the ball is as good as a central midfield player. Last night we were still getting loads of information and rumours about the Hojlund deal being very close to the finish line. I've not heard anything since yesterday. What I'm hearing is Manchester United are working really hard to get this done, and they are not going to give up until they have their man. We also heard last night that United have made offers to Amrabat's agent. I do love this kind of reporting. Offer for what? I mean, what is it? What would they be offering the agent? I confirmed last week and in yesterday's show that United some time ago had agreed personal terms with Amrabat. Ten Haag has spoken to him. It's not new news, it's old news, but I guess everyone is now jumping on the back of this and saying that there's something new here and something's going on, but nothing new is going on. We already know that Amrabat is keen and wants to join United. He's spoken with Ten Hag. He wants to come to United. He is keen on being at United and playing in that centre mid for Manchester United. No doubt about it. The only doubt is whether Manchester United want to go and get him. Manchester United have not made any formal offers for Amrabat, but are in pole position to sign him if they want him. Ignore all the fake news out there which keep saying that Amrabat is coming to United and Man United have signed him or they've made offers. They haven't made any offers. Nothing's happened just yet. So hold your horses on this one. Like I said, United are working hard behind the scenes to get the deal with Hojlund done as quick as possible. That is their key target, their main target. All their focus is on Rasmus Hojlund because he is the player that they need to fit in the jigsaw. There was breaking news last night with all the PSG saga and Mbappe that PSG have put Mbappe up for sale, and that they were now focusing their attention on bringing in a new striker, and you've guessed it, Rasmus Hojlund was the player that they were going to go in for. The pressure is now on Manchester United to get this deal done as quick as possible. Now, if you watched yesterday's show in the afternoon, I broke this news to everybody that this was the case, that PSG are going to go in for Rasmus Hojlund. No one probably believed me at that point, but look, this is what I bring you. I bring you news that no one brings you. I bring you exclusive news that no one has their hands on. I said in that show that PSG were looking at Rasmus Hojlund, and what happens a few hours later in the evening, the news is breaking all over the internet that PSG are in for Rasmus Hojlund. But look, this is fluid. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to go on with Mbappe, what's going to go on with Rasmus Hojlund. That reminds me, thank you to everybody out there who's been subscribing to the channel, showing lots of love to the channel, making all them comments, contributing. We love it. Thank you very much to everybody. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and you'll be kept up to date with all the goings on at Manchester United. Now, let's move our attention from Hojlund to Amrabat. I've been informed from the Manchester United side that they are completely relaxed about Amrabat and are monitoring Amrabat. In other words, they are working on Hojlund, and once they get him over the line, they will then consider a move for Amrabat. But unlike the first three major signings this transfer window, Amrabat is not considered a must signing. He is considered an additional player who would allow players to rest when matches start to come thick and fast later on in the season. Look, let's get one thing straight. Amrabat is a top player. He's fantastic. He's got an engine on him. United need someone like that. They've missed out on Declan Rice. They can't afford someone like Moises Caicedo. This guy is on the cheap, and I think it suits Manchester United in the budget that they have to go out and get him, because he would be a fantastic squad player. and they will regret not getting him. And if Liverpool or someone else go out and get him instead, I think they're going to regret it, because this guy is the real deal. We've seen it. We've seen that he's really good with the ball. He's a clean-up merchant. He gets the ball and gets rid of it. He gets the ball and gets rid of it. That's all he does. If you watch him play in the highlights reels or wherever it is, he is just really good at collecting the ball and then passing it. A Kante. He's a Kante. I mean, obviously Kante was on another level, but this guy is very similar in style and play of Kante. He doesn't like doing anything flamboyant, doesn't like going crazy. He simply likes getting the ball and then distributing it. And that is exactly what they need in that centre of the park. There's talk that Fred has been left out of pre-season for this reason, because they are going to get Amrabat, but that is just speculation. We do not know this as of yet. I'd love for them to sign Amrabat. I think he's really good. We'll have to watch this space. There's a lot of news out there saying that it's already a done deal, but it's not. It's not already a done deal. What is close and what is almost a done deal is the Rasmus Hojlund transfer. Yes, I can confidently say that United are working so hard to get this done. Both clubs, United and Atalanta, are really, really keen of getting this done. But what we know is that Ten Hag has got in there early. He's already spoken to Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund loves the thought of joining up with Ten Hag and coming and playing for Manchester United, his boyhood dream club. He's been a fan of Manchester United. He's a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. He watched Cristiano Ronaldo whilst he was at Manchester United. So that is a big plus. We've got a player who actually wants to come to United, and that would be great. I'm telling you one thing, he is built for the Premier League. He's big, he's strong, and he's fast, and he's got a really good shot on him. It's no coincidence that a lot of people have been saying that he's a young Haaland. It actually does remind you of Haaland, the way he plays, his stature. I would liken him to a young Rooney as well, because he just looks a lot older and stronger physically than what his age suggests. He is the perfect player in that jigsaw, and Ten Hag has identified him, and we have to trust in Ten Hag. Ten Hag has been picking these players, and he knows exactly who he's going after and why. He's got a plan and he's sticking to it, and we just need to believe in our manager, and I think we will really, really enjoy watching Rasmus Hojlund in the coming years. We also had breaking news last night that Nottingham Forest had signed the Manchester United forward Anthony Alanga for £15 million, which is great news for Alanga, that he gets game time and can move on and do some good at another club. It's great news for Manchester United because we get a sale through the door, which we've been waiting on for some time. And I'm also hearing that Alex Teller's deal has gone through. Manchester United are just having to sign the paperwork, and that has gone through as well. Last night we got a really interesting press conference from Ten Hag whilst in New York ahead of the game against Arsenal. It was really interesting. Ten Hag's press conferences are always quite tense, quite tricky, because he does not answer a lot of questions. He does not go into a lot of detail either. He tries to keep these answers very short. But Ten Hag was asked about choosing Bruno as his new captain, and Ten Hag gave the answer that most people were expecting, which was that yes, he trusts in Bruno. He feels Bruno has got the maturity and has got the capability of handling the captaincy. And what about Maguire? Well, he was asked also about Harry Maguire and what he told Harry Maguire, and he simply said that he went and did tell him about the captaincy and told him that he still has to work hard and fight for his position as the fourth centre-back in the team. That suggests that Ten Hag has allowed Harry Maguire to stay at Manchester United, or at least left the door open, saying that he is willing to allow Maguire a way back in and work his way back into the team. And look, my initial thoughts on Harry Maguire have always been fairly strong about him leaving and selling him, but if Ten Hag feels that he could stay on and fight for his team and have less pressure and not being a captain, I think that's a decent move, especially if someone's offering 30 million for him. What is the point of selling Maguire for 30 million, 20 million? We're not getting enough money for him, so we might as well keep him. We've paid 80 million for this dude. We might as well keep him and let him play. He's not that bad of a player to sell for 20 or 30 million. That's just a complete joke. Why would we do that to ourselves? We might as well keep him. We've invested money in him, might as well keep him. And what if we need a centre-back to come in? At least we've got someone there. But I think this is a double-edged sword. I think Ten Hag is a really calculated, really clever manager. What he's doing is sending a message out to the rest of teams who are considering buying Maguire and saying to them, well, Maguire is not a rubbish player. Maguire can still make it in our team, and if you're considering buying him, well, come in and buy him. Come in and make a decent offer and you can take him, but we're not going to give him away for free. That is what Ten Hag is saying there. I think that's what he's saying. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think Ten Hag is playing it, or do you think he's just genuinely saying that Harry Maguire can stay at the club and work his way back to the starting 11? Ten Hag in the press conference was also asked about Onana and what he brings to the team, and well, it was obvious Ten Hag loves Onana, thinks he's very confident, and he's got a lot of personality, and he is a perfect player to have in the dressing room. Ten Hag is really happy to have got Onana. And then he also discussed the whole De Gea departure and how that went down. Ten Hag gave a very honest answer to this and said, look, De Gea does deserve a better farewell, and he would be happy for De Gea to come back and get the proper farewell that he deserves. And he was really complimentary about the service that David De Gea gave to the Manchester United, and it was really good. It was really refreshing to hear, actually. In reality, Ten Hag needs a different goalkeeper, a goalkeeper that can play a different style of football, which De Gea cannot do. And that is all it is. And you could see what Ten Hag was trying to say in that press conference, and it makes a lot more sense now. The other questions put to Ten Hag were about the striker situation at Manchester United and how they haven't got a striker in at the moment. And Ten Hag did confirm that Manchester United were working really hard round the clock to get a striker in, and that they had players, targets in mind, and they were working on them. And I guess he was hinting to the Rasmus Hojlund situation and how they're trying to get him in. Someone in the press did push it further and said, well, is one striker enough? To which Ten Hag said that he does like having a few players for one position. He was also asked about Harry Kane. Yes, he was also asked about Harry Kane and why they didn't go for Harry Kane. As all the managers are now using the same line, he came out with, he cannot talk about a player that's at another football club, which is fine. We expected that. Also, Ten Hag was asked about the budget and spend on the transfer window, to which he replied that he was not in charge of finances and could not comment on what the transfer budget was and what was being spent on players and how much was left over. Overall, that was a really interesting insight to Ten Hag and what his thinking is right now and where he's going and taking the team. He also discussed Mason Mount and about how good he was, how technically gifted he was, and what he brought to the team, what skills he brought to the team. It was fantastic to hear. He also actually went on to discuss Mason Greenwood and how he said that it was up to the club to decide and not him about what the future held for Mason Greenwood. Really interesting. I found the whole press conference really interesting. If you get a chance, go and watch it. It had lots of information packed up in there, and it gave you a great insight to what's going on in Ten Hag's head at this stage and what he's planning for the coming season. But it's clear from Ten Hag's comments that Manchester United are looking to bring more players in and strengthen the squad, because Ten Hag did admit in the press conference that they need more players because they've got lots and lots of games coming up, and they will need a squad with quite some depth to keep up with the games. That excites me because I love the whole transfers and bringing in new players and getting the team and building it. I'm loving watching this rebuild. It's what we've all been thinking about. All Manchester United fans have been dreaming about. All we want to see as Manchester United fans is a really good team on the pitch that's hard to beat. Hojlund, hopefully they can tie things up and agree a fee structure and payment plan and get that over the line. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because, like I said, Atalanta are playing hardball. They are using the whole PSG interest to their advantage and threatening Manchester United that PSG could come in any second and take Hojlund. But this year, I have to say one thing, hats off to Man United and their transfer staff, their negotiation staff, because what they are doing is a stellar job. They are making sure they're not getting ripped off. They're cool, they're calm, they're relaxed in every situation they're going into. They're not letting clubs pull their pants down, which we've seen happen so often in the last 5-10 years, where clubs are increasing the price of their crappy players and making sure Manchester United pay over the odds for a player that they would sell half the price to if Liverpool or Arsenal or anybody else came knocking. So it's just the Man United tax they've been applying, but this time in this summer transfer window, it looks like that tax has been put to bed. Manchester United have refused to pay this tax on their players, and hence why they got Mason Mount and Onana at really, really good prices. I'm looking forward to getting this Hojlund deal over the line. I'm really fingers crossed that it happens over the weekend, and then Manchester United can start focusing on bringing another player in. If that's Amrabat, I'll be really happy. There's also talk of bringing in another striker. Now that would be interesting. Who would they go for? Is there a striker available within their budget? Let me know in the comments below if you think there is a striker available, and who is it? Which striker would they go for after Hojlund if they get Hojlund? What if they miss out on Hojlund? Then what happens? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that like button and subscribe for all further news and transfer news on Manchester United.